Right now on Upfront.
Fireworks in Milwaukee.
We don't need to bring in a rookie.
I've had enough already tonight.
You've been pushing this lie all week, Nikki.
The first Republican presidential primary debate in the books.
Vivek, how did it go tonight?
I thought it went great.
The Republican frontrunner, a no-show, booked and released from jail, his poll numbers appearing to rise.
He did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. Never had such support.
Democrats protesting in what will be a wild year ahead.
Wisconsin is in the center of the political universe.
This Sunday, we've got it all inside the spin room. We're just going to walk over here and try to dip in on this. The access, the interviews, and what it all means. Plus, ABC News political director Rick Klein.
The impact of not having the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, on the stage.
Former Governor Scott Walker. Wisconsin in the national spotlight. And it all begins now.
This is Upfront with Jaron Jordan and political director Matt Smith.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. The Republican presidential hopefuls departed back in the early states of Iowa and New Hampshire this weekend, all of them hoping to make it back to Milwaukee for next summer's nominating convention.
Their party's frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, skipping the first primary debate, now booked and released from the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. The headlines this weekend from across the country. Mr. Trump and 18 others facing a total of 41 charges, accused of attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election in Georgia.
Despite that, Trump maintains a dominant lead, on average nearly 40 points ahead of his closest competitors, who took the stage in Milwaukee looking to break through.
Tonight, the race for the White House takes flight. Welcome to
the anticipation just minutes away.
It's going to be great. We love Milwaukee. It's been a great day so far. We're going to have a great debate.
Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel, just moments before the fireworks on the debate stage, thousands of Republicans inside Fiserv Forum, nearly 13 million Americans watching at home.
So you have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
And you know what? The foreign policy experience.
And just as fast as the debate ended, the spin started.
And I think what we're going to see is a huge jump in the polls for Vivek. He is the candidate to watch. No one really knew who he was a couple of months ago, and now
this is the spin room, a chaotic post-debate tradition. Fox News hosts preparing the instant analysis, awaiting the arrival of the candidates themselves, looking to propel their message for any potential post-debate bump in these early days ahead. Vivek, how did it go tonight? We're
I thought it went great. I'm pretty excited. Now the race is really rolling, and I'm pretty pumped about where we're taking it.
Governor, how did it go this evening? We're from Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was great.
Just fine.
Good.
Did you do what
great
you needed
to see
to
you
do?
guys. I'm going to do a quick interview then.
Governor, how did it go tonight?
We had fun.
How are you feeling?
Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate that. I had about 80% of my weight on my right leg, but that was a good stage to be leaning right on versus left. So that was a dad joke, actually. You go down.
Did you get your message across? Did you do what you think you needed to do tonight?
Well, absolutely, but I think, again, what you saw, there's a lot of noise out there. And
Mr. Vice President, did you do what you needed to do this evening here in Milwaukee?
Well, I'll let others be the judge of that, but I felt pretty good about it. You know, I just want people to know that, you know, I've had the opportunity to serve in the Congress. I was a leader in Congress. I led the state of Indiana as governor. And I served in a consequential administration that rebuilt our military, revived our economy, and appointed 3 conservatives to our courts that gave us a new beginning for life. And I know that of all the people in this field, I'm the most qualified, proven and tested conservative in this field. And at a time that we see Joe Biden literally weakening America at home and abroad, we need proven leadership that can move us back to the conservative agenda that's always made America strong and prosperous and free.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Senator Scott, how did you do tonight? Some candidates, perhaps a strategy not immediately stopping. Senator Tim Scott, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Ambassador, we're from Milwaukee. How did you do tonight?
How do you think?
Their supporters, though, out in full force. Former Senator Cory Gardner for Senator Scott. Cory, real quick, how was your analysis?
It was great. It was great tonight. You saw somebody who showed leadership, who showed discipline, who didn't engage in the fighting tonight. He was the adult in the room. I shouldn't even say fighting. He didn't engage in the shouting matches and the yelling that took place. What you saw was a leader. What you saw was a vision. What you saw was optimism.
The spinning inside the makeshift made-for-TV room in what is usually the parking garage for the Milwaukee Bucks players, an oftentimes choreographed chaotic dance. I want you to just take a look. We can turn around and just look at the crowd that is still in here tonight, almost 11 o'clock. You see the signs, those are the campaign surrogates, Ramaswamy, DeSantis, Pence, Burgum, still in here at this hour. All of their surrogates talking with reporters from really across the country, some reporters from across the world here in Milwaukee in this spin room. The largest swarm around Vivek Ramaswamy, the 38-year-old rising in the polls and the target of the other candidates on stage. Vivek Ramaswamy is talking with reporters. Let's go. We're just going to walk over here and try to dip in on this and see what happens. Welcome to the spin room, folks.
Offer an actual alternative vision of our own. And I think I was the only candidate on the stage doing that tonight, and I'm going to continue to lead the way in actually articulating what it means to be an American. Revive those 1776 ideals. Meritocracy, the pursuit of excellence, free speech, the rule of law, which I am glad that we talked a lot about tonight. Self-governance in the form of shutting down that administrative state. Reviving the American dream itself. We have to, left will feed us race, gender, sexuality, and climate, and we can complain about that all we want. What we have to talk more about is the value of each individual, the family, which I spoke about several times tonight, the nation, and God. Individual, family, nation, God, that's what we're running to, not just what we're running from. And I think I'm the only candidate in this race in the first 6 months of this campaign, and even tonight, who's independently offering that vision. And I say this as somebody who believes I'm going to need each of those other people to play their role. There's some good governors on that stage. Some of them are current governors that I need to stay in their seat as governor, to do what they're best at doing. But when it comes to the White House, we're going to need an outsider from a different generation to deliver a landslide, and I think I'm the only candidate in this race who can actually do it.
Was the former president missed?
The question, though, this weekend is whether any of it matters. Former President Donald Trump, the dominant Republican frontrunner, skipping the debate for an online interview with Tucker Carlson.
You got to pull all their numbers together to your number to then even have an opportunity to go one-on-one with the president. I mean, look at some of these polls. The president's already at 50% and rising. So there was nothing in this debate tonight that said, oh man, it's Vivek and Trump, or oh man, it's DeSantis and Trump, or anything like that. I didn't see that. I think Vivek did a really good job tonight. I thought Nikki Haley did well tonight. I thought Ron DeSantis was good tonight. But nobody really broke through and dominated the stage. And I think in this debate, what somebody out there needed to do was dominate this stage in order to pull themselves into a clear second place. That didn't happen.
Trump's surrogates and campaign staff given limited access inside the arena in Milwaukee because of his refusal to debate. Do you have any concerns as a campaign official about this strategy, about skipping the first potentially? Are you skipping the first two debates for sure? Is that for sure in the bag, the first two he's not going to show up to?
So the president has said that he won't be participating in the debates. I would take that, his Truth Social post, at face value for now. If he changes that at some point, comes back and decides to participate in the debates, then he'll let us know that. Former
Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway. What are your thoughts on?
Love being in Milwaukee. Wisconsin is the swingiest of the swing states. It went by less than a percentage of the vote in 2016 and in 2020. So I expect it'll be in the top 3 or 4 states again this time. These elections are not decided by millions of votes; they're decided by tens of thousands of votes. So I'm really glad the first primary debate was here. I think any of them would be a better president than Joe Biden. All 8 of them on the stage. Obviously, they didn't want to engage President Trump too much because they know that they can't alienate his voters. But we'll see if the needle moves.
Do you think it will, from what you saw?
Maybe. I mean, he's way ahead. He's leading them all in every poll in every state. But I think some people had some strong moments tonight. The donors are probably going to give a second look to a few of them. But as I say, they would all be better than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I don't think anybody even mentioned her name all night. They're so embarrassed that she's the vice president.
Thank you. Kellyanne Conway.
Great to see you.
The attention all on Wisconsin. Reince Priebus, the Wisconsin native, former Trump chief of staff and RNC chair, is now chairman of the Milwaukee Host Committee ahead of the convention next summer. Give me your thoughts. What did you make of the night?
Well, look, I think everyone, this is where we're at right now. Is called a spin room for people at home. This is where debates are won and lost. So for all these folks debating, they're going to clip their best lines. They're going to get it out to their supporters. They're going to raise money, and they're going to try to convince people who won and who lost. That's really where this thing's won or lost.
Does this move the needle at all with Trump not being here and where he is in the polls?
I don't think so. It's a harsh truth. And the harsh truth is that I wanted President Trump to be at this debate because it's fun and it's entertaining. But the truth is, I think he probably made the right decision and didn't go. I don't know what these folks that debated tonight, what percentage of Donald Trump's vote they were able to take away. That's really what they need to do. If they're down by a lot, what percentage of Donald Trump's vote are you taking away? I don't think they did it.
Let me get a convention question real quick. This is the kickoff. We're coming back here next summer. Republicans in Milwaukee. How critical is this state, and how's the planning for the convention coming after we kick this off tonight?
Well, number one, we're here tonight because Milwaukee and Wisconsin is a critical place. Wisconsin is the #1 battleground state in America. There's a reason for this, and that's because 20,000 people or less are going to decide Wisconsin, and 20,000 people or less are going to decide the presidency of the United States. So it matters. But aside from that, the people of Milwaukee have been great. And if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter. It's a great opportunity for the state of Wisconsin to make money, for businesses to make money, for $200 million to be back into this state of Wisconsin. That makes everyone a winner. Even if you're a Democrat and you can't stand Republicans, it is good that we're coming here to spend a lot of money and put money in people's pockets.
The morning after a final push for that polling and fundraising bump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at a breakfast stop in Waukesha County before returning to Iowa.
I look forward to seeing a lot of you in Fort Myers in January when half the state comes down to Florida, and we love the people from Wisconsin that come to Florida. We'll of course be up here a lot more, during this campaign as well.
Democrats, meantime, in Milwaukee protesting during the debate.
Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
By being here and showing up, we're telling these people in that building and everybody across this state and this country that the workers are going to win this next election. And if you do not give the workers what we need to live, you're not getting in that White House.
That march, organized by labor union members and activists, getting the attention of Democratic National Committee Chairman Jamie Harrison.
As I've been saying all across this great state, Wisconsin is in the center of the political universe. This state is really crucial, and so we got to continue pushing. We got to continue moving forward. We got to continue to make sure that people here in Wisconsin are organized and that they get the vote out. And that's basically making sure that they understand how Joe Biden has delivered for the American people over the past few years.
Harrison joining the Biden-Harris campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond and Wisconsin's Democratic Party officials in Milwaukee.
I am honored to join Chair Harrison and Congressman Richmond in the state that could determine the 2024 presidential election and where the tale of the tape is crystal clear. In Wisconsin, MAGA extremism falls flat. We're anticipating a debate tonight where candidates are leapfrogging each other to the most extreme fringes of ultra-MAGAism. And yet, when you look at the record in the state of Wisconsin, over and over, Wisconsin voters reject MAGA extremism. They reject the attacks on fundamental freedoms and economic security and dignity. They reject the very kind of ultra-MAGA Republican candidates that will be swarming the debate stage here in Milwaukee tonight.
The fallout continuing this weekend. Up next, the impact of the latest indictments. Former President Donald Trump booked and released. ABC News political director Rick Klein with us in Milwaukee.